Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you guys can see by the title, today's video we are going to be setting up a new 20-gallon tank for my Thai Oranda butter. So if you're watching this, you may or may not know that I have a Oranda Goldfish that I have had for almost a month now. Her name is Butter. If you've never seen any of my videos before this one, then you probably have no idea what's going on. Basically, welcome. For the past 2 weeks, my life has absolutely sucked. If you'd like to get caught up on the last 3 videos on my channel, which will kind of speed you up to this video, I will have those videos linked on the screen for you. Long story short, Butter is a 11-month-old Thai Oranda that I got about a month ago. I got her from a really good breeder. However, she did come down with dropsy. Dropsy is a symptom of usually something related to a bacterial or a parasite infection. It can be caused by a lot of other things, which I won't go into detail on. But it was determined after treatment that Butter's dropsy was probably a bacterial infection brought on by stress of quarantine, since she was quarantined for 12 days whenever she started showing symptoms of the dropsy. More than likely, the bacteria that already lives inside a fish, like goldfish and koi, they're really prone to it, basically flared up. More than likely, it was caused by the fact that she was shipped to me, and then the stress from shipment and then being in a new environment then caused her immune system to plummet, which can cause a rise in bacteria in her, which more than likely caused the dropsy. Obviously, there's no way to know exactly, and I'm going to be doing an entire video on that entire process of how I cured her or saved her and relieved the dropsy symptoms and treated her for the infections that she probably had and everything, but that is not this video. This video is just setting up a new 20-gallon for her. Now that her treatment is officially over, and I am so excited. It has been a really long 14 days of treatment. I did decide to do the full 14 days. Her treatment was supposed to go anywhere between 10 to 14 days according to her breeder and her veterinarian, but I decided to do the full 14 days of treatment since she was doing so well with the treatment. She only started responding at day 8, so I didn't feel like 10 days was long enough. I wanted to take it to the furthest I could, so I did do 14 days of treatment. Again, I'll be making an entire video on her full treatment and what I did day to day. And if your goldfish or beta or anything is having any symptoms of dropsy, you'll know how to treat that for future reference. So I'm going to be making that video, but it's going to be a long one. So yes, so now that her treatment's over, I'll be able to film that video pretty soon for you guys. So if you guys have been following my updates on my channel here about Butter, or on my Instagram where I've been doing about daily updates, or I've been trying to do daily updates. Obviously, I've had a lot going on, but I've been trying to update you guys the best that I can along the 2 weeks of treatment. Basically, I've been treating Butter in totes. I have 2 totes set up identical for her treatment, and then I move her from tote to tote every day. I just swap her over to the clean tote. I'm using aged water only, so it's basically a process of filling up a tote with clean water from the faucet, letting it sit for 24 hours, and then moving her into that tote, and then refilling up the tote that she was in. So I've basically been doing that routine for 2 weeks. I can honestly say that I am exhausted with doing that. Doing 100% water changes every day and emptying and refilling up these totes every day and then reheating them and then redosing them. It's really been a very stressful process. I'm not gonna lie, it's been an extremely long 2 weeks. But I'm thrilled that her treatment is finally over. And side note, you know, one of the things that I can honestly say was one of my doubts when getting into fish keeping and thinking about getting fish. One of the biggest cons, I guess you could say, to owning fish usually is people thinking about doing water changes. A lot of people, you know, that's the worst part of owning a fish to them. Like, a lot of people don't like doing water changes, and that's usually the biggest reason why a lot of people don't even want to get into it. Obviously, there's a lot of other things like fish being really sensitive, or certain fish can be hard to care for and all that kind of stuff. But one of the biggest cons is usually the water changes, you know, having to do it once a week, or if you have an overstocked tank, once every 3 days or whatever. So obviously, when I was doing my research, water changes was one of the things that stood out to me as like, okay, you know, how will I feel about having to do that, you know, once a week or whatever? And obviously, I decided to get into fish, and I didn't mind thinking about doing one water change a week or whatever. But now that I've had to do 100% water changes every day for 14 days, I can honestly say 1 water change a week, or even 2, sounds amazing. It's literally not even a con on my list anymore. Like, doing 100% water changes every day for 2 weeks was severe. Like, it took a lot of work, a lot of patience, and a lot of time. And obviously, I didn't mind doing it at all. Butter survived. I saved her. I think I did everything that I possibly could. I hope you guys know that. I'm sure you do. Obviously, I want to say while Butter is doing amazing and she is not showing any symptoms of the dropsy, her scales are a little bit ragged because obviously, because she was so bloated and so pine cone, a few of her scales did fall off during the treatment and everything, but for the most part, they're all laid back down. She looks amazing, and I'm really pleased with how well she healed and the results that I'm seeing from her treatment. Like, I just honestly, it was best case scenario. Like, I couldn't be any more happy with the results of her treatment. But of course, I do want to say that there is always a chance, because she had dropsy once from potentially stress and a bacterial infection and a low compromised immune system. It could always come back, and that is one thing that I just wanted to put into this video so that you guys know that I am aware that while it is cured right now, her symptoms are gone, and she has been treated for any potential parasite or bacteria that could have caused this. It is always possible that it could return. That is something that's happened to a lot of people, a lot of fish keepers who have had a fish that got dropsy. It can come back. So I do want to mention that. However, I've decided that because her treatment went so well, I've had great success with her treatment. She's looking amazing. She is eating, pooping. She never got lethargic. She never showed a lot of the typical dropsy symptoms. I'm really confident that she's going to be okay. And obviously, I acknowledge that there is a chance it could come back. And if it does come back, it is really, really deadly. And the odds of her coming back from that a second time are slim. I'm choosing to stay positive. Honestly, losing Moo and everything that's happened in the past 2 weeks, it's put a lot of things in perspective for me. And I'm not going to sit around and be scared and anxiety ridden and worry about the future or what could possibly happen. I'm just going to focus on the fact that she is better now. I did everything that I needed to do. I'm literally setting up a brand new quarantine tank that no fish has ever been in. It's bigger than my other quarantine tank. Bacteria-free perfection. Like, I'm doing my best. I'm giving her a completely new start to quarantine, essentially starting our quarantine all over again, and just doing the absolute best that I can to give her the best care that I can to keep her stress low, and hopefully it never returns. So yeah, I think I've talked a lot, so let's get started on this tank setup. I'm really excited. I hope that you guys enjoy. Okay, so here is her new tank. I did decide to get a 20-gallon tall. If you guys saw that vlog, I explained why. I'm not going to explain that again. I am going to be putting substrate, also a plant, as well as a new filter with new filter media on here. The antibiotics that she was on for 2 weeks killed the quarantine filter. Basically, the antibiotics kill positive and negative gram-bacteria, so basically it killed the filter. I had to just take it off, and that's why I've been swapping her between totes to keep her ammonia down and keeping her water 100% every day. So I'm so excited to be able to get a filter on this tank and have her in a tank with a filter, so I do not have to do water changes every single day. It's gonna be amazing. Super excited to set this up. I don't think you guys really understand. Okay, so the tank has been rinsed out. Now I have my bucket of sand here. As you can see, I have the salt and pepper sand that I have in my big tank. I am going to be putting a layer of this in there. I've already rinsed this out really well. There's a little bit of tap water in there, but not much. I did do the salt and pepper look, which is what I did in the big tank. So I already pre-rinsed this and drained it, and then I'm just going to dump it in. Have a full tote full of aged 24-hour clean water. I'm only using aged water for butter pretty much for the rest of her life. Aged water is a basically stabilized 24-hour water that's been sitting. It's had time to stabilize, depressurize, the gases have released, chlorine releases. Basically, it's just a much better water to use for your fish instead of just straight tap water. It's just better, so I'm gonna be using aged water, and I'm gonna use this bucket to get it out of there, and then basically just fill this up. Okay, so here is Beautiful Butter's tote. She's been in this tote for 24 hours now. That's why we are ready to move her into her final tank. That is the extra tote that I had, which I've been swapping her between, and I had that tote filled up for the past 24 hours with clean water, which is now in the tank. As you can see, Butter looks beautiful, and I have her thermometer in here as well as my bigger heater, which I've had in here. I did have the second heater in that tote all night so that these two temperatures would be the same, so I can go on and move her straight to the tank, and it should be the same temperature as this tote. As you can see, the temperature in here is 76 degrees. I've been bringing her down slowly. So now we will check the temperature on the tank water to make certain that it is within 2 to 3 degrees of this one. We're trying to get her down to 73, and that be her new normal. So since the water that was in this tote, which is now in the tank, is the same as this one, we can go on and move her in there after it's all completely set up, and we will be done. So here is my filter that I'm going to be using. As you can see, it is in pieces because I did soak it in diluted bleach water 2 weeks ago whenever I took it off of her old quarantine tank, because obviously it was infected with bacteria. So we do need to put this back together. Again, this was soaked in bleach water. Then I ran it through the dishwasher on a no heat dry, just a really good clean and sanitize. Then I let all of this sit out and dry after it was bleach watered after the dishwasher, and then I rinsed it again and let it dry again. So it's literally been through 3 rinses and sanitizations, and now we can just take some filter media from the big tank and basically just re-put this filter back together and then put it on the tank. Okay, so here is the filter. I have it completely put back together, as you can see, and then I have 2 sponges. I actually cut 2 big chunks off of my sponge in my big tank, as well as I took a lot of the ceramic filter media as well. So I have a bag of ceramic, and then I have 2 really heavily cycled filter sponges. Obviously no fish have been in there, so there's no like debris. It's mostly just good bacteria. So that is basically what my filter looks like. Okay guys, so here is the tank and what it looks like completely finished. Obviously this is my light off of my 36-gallon tank. I don't have a top or a light for this tank, obviously, because this tank isn't permanent and I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on a light. So I just took my light off my 36 to show you guys what this one really looks like. You can see the salt and pepper sand, and then I have the heater, and then I have my thermometer, which shows that it's 75.6 degrees. It is 76 degrees in Butter's tote, so as soon as this water sits for a couple hours and clears up, I'm gonna go on and put her in here, but I'm gonna wait for the water to clear. But yeah, this is basically Butter's new 20-gallon tall tank set up for a goldfish. All right guys, there she is. She is finally in the tank. I have the light on right now, but I'm gonna turn it off as soon as I'm done filming this clip. I just wanted you guys to be able to see her and see what she looks like in the tank and how good she's doing. You can see that her scales are all back down. She looks beautiful. She's got her lemon head back. I know this light is really bright on this tank, but you can see her little lemon head. She is precious and she's doing so good. You can see a few of her little scales missing, but they'll grow back in time as long as she stays healthy and the dropsy doesn't come back. But she's doing really good and we're so healthy, aren't we? I'm gonna be watching her really closely, obviously, because this is a new tank, and we're gonna try and keep the light off, keep her stress really low, and let her just adjust to the new tank and get used to it. I'm just really glad that she is back to normal and her lemon head is back and her beautiful white is back. So, but yeah guys, that is Butter and her new tank. Hope you guys enjoyed. All right guys, that is it for this 20-gallon tall tank setup for Butter, her new and improved quarantine tank that is completely 100% brand new, never had a fish in it, perfect, flawless setup. I cannot wait to get her in here. As soon as it clears up, she's going in there. Obviously, while I'm filming this outro, she's not in here yet, but I'm sure I already showed you guys a clip of her in here, probably in a few hours. But that is it. I am so happy that she is done with quarantine. It's been an incredibly long 2 weeks, and I just can't stress to you guys how hard I worked to heal her and to have her in this new tank and be finally done with treatment. It's a huge weight off my shoulders, and it's a bit of good news in the bad 2 weeks that I've had, so I'm really happy about that. I'm really excited to have this completely set up, and as you can see, it's really big. I'm really close to the camera, but if I actually go back, you guys can see it's a really big tank, so I think she's gonna do fine in here. And honestly, because I wanna kind of restart her quarantine over again and watch her, it's really important that I monitor her and watch her closely, just like I did the first 2 weeks. That's how I spotted the dropsy really fast. I really do think, because I'm really anal about watching my animals, especially when they're in quarantine or things like that, I caught it really quickly, and that's how I was able to treat her and essentially save her life. So I'm really happy that I did that. I do have a really small sword plant in here. Look how little it is. It's not growing super fast. There is a small little sword, so she can pick at that a little bit. I would put my big sword in here, but it's in my 36-gallon, and I really love that plant, so I don't want to put anything too big in here. But she will have that little sword plant, as well as all of this sand. I know she's going to be so happy to have sand. to be able to like pick through and eat through and stuff like that. Goldfish love to like sift through things. It keeps them busy. Honestly, I think having the sand and a little plant and things like that, it's like enrichment kind of, and it may lower any stress that she could potentially have. That's my biggest hope, is that she doesn't stress and her immune system doesn't crash and that the dropsy never returns. Just staying positive, and I'm really just grateful for right now. I'm just grateful that she's okay, that she's healed, and that I did it, and that she's okay right now. Also, I got her a new food while I'm rambling. I know this video is really long. I'm sorry. I've just had a crap 2 weeks, so I feel like talking. So I got her this new food. This is some New Life Spectrum pellets. These are the 3mm, but they're pretty small still. Basically, I've been soaking these and feeding them to her, and she really likes them. You guys know I also have the Repashy gel food, which is really good. However, I have not fed her this since before she got dropsy. I've been too scared to feed it again because it does kind of muck up the water. So it's really one of those foods where it's really good for fish and they love it, and she loves it so much. This is the super green, not the Soylent Green, but I do have it. It may be one of those things where I feed it to her like the day of a water change. Patrick suggested that, and I think that's actually a really good idea. He's had so many good suggestions through this whole process. It was his idea to do the double tote thing. I never even thought to do 2 totes set up identical, so it lowers her stress, like switching her between them. That was really great. But like I said, I haven't fed this. I may feed this only on water change day, so it would be once a week, and I mean, that's fine, I guess. I still have my pellets. I also have my Omega One pellets, which she absolutely loves these. These are her favorite by far. She likes these, but they are a tiny bit bigger. There was only one other size. I think it was the 1mm I saw, but they were like beta size, like they were teeny tiny. So she really loves these. I'm still feeding her these as well as these, and she also is getting her peas still. I really want to give her broccoli and her seaweed. I still have not tried those foods with her because she got the dropsy and I've been treating her, so I've just wanted to keep her diet really simple and familiar, you know. But maybe we'll try those things really soon. If she's good in the next couple weeks and this tank is going well and everything, I'm really excited to try the seaweed and the broccoli, so that'll be fun. But yeah, guys, I guess that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I know that things have been kind of crazy on my channel lately, and it's been really depressing all the way around. It's been that way for me, trust me. But I'm really excited about this year and everything that we're going to do on this channel, and I'm really excited for Butter and getting her in this tank, and then I'm going to be getting her a friend eventually, obviously pending that this second quarantine goes well and the dropsy is gone and everything goes well. Guys, seriously, send positive thoughts, because it obviously is going to be wait and see. I'm in no rush to get her a friend because I'm really scared to like start another quarantine process. I mean, you guys can obviously tell I've gone through a lot with Butter, and so I'm kind of scared to get another fish, but I do want to get her a friend, so that is on the list of things to do for this year. I really want to do it by March. That's my goal, but obviously it all is dependent on Butter and how she does with the second quarantine in this tank, and how everything goes with the dropsy not reoccurring or reoccurrence. You know, it's just really touch and go, so to speak. Anyway, I've been rambling. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for all of the love and support you guys have been giving me lately on this channel. If you're new to this channel, well, hi, welcome. Feel free to subscribe down below and also hit the notification bell. I will see you guys in my next video. Be kind. Bye.